Welcome to this new Flight Simulator update movie. In this movie, we're gonna look at the announcements which are brought by the Avionics and Aircraft update number 2, which is currently in beta, right? Also known as AAU number 2. So in this case, we're gonna look at the Boeing specific changes, and especially for the Boeing 787. So we're gonna hide the yoke, right, to see everything a little bit more clear. And then we're gonna switch on the, I would say, the battery, and also switch on the external power, and then make sure the APU starts. So what has been changed in this nice aircraft? Well, a lot of things have been changed, right? So if we scroll into the, I would say, default displays, you can already see a lot of enhancements. For example, the CAS messages, right, which was announced in release notes already, that they will add more information about the, I would say, warnings, as you can say, can name it, and these are clearly showing you what you need to do, right? So what's wrong, right? Fuel in center, emergency lights not set, hydraulic pressure C1 and C2, something is wrong with that. So that's already a nice gesture. As well as if you look at, I would say, these additional details which are shown over here, that adds a lot of value. Now, if you would like to see more details, then we need to go a little bit more to the right side, right, of the Copilot, because there are some additional displays here. So if you look at the stat one, which is the default one, you can see the hydraulics, you can see the APU, right, the RPMs, but also the pressure, you can see the oxygen and the liquid cooling, as well as some status messages. Based on some testing, I didn't see too much status messages yet, but that might come right in a future update. Then we of course can go switch to the different systems, right? We can go to the electrical systems, which received a massive update, as well as the hydraulic systems, where you can see some more details. Especially this part, I would say a lot has changed here compared to the default version. Then we've got, of course, the view, right? The APU. You can see the active stream, if you would call it like that. You can see it over here. You can see the air page, but that one is not yet available, but the door one is. And in the door one, they also made several announcements, right? You can see that there are several ones which they have added here, which is really cool. The gear also shows the pressure, right, of the tires, and if it's open or closed. Flight controls, also here. The other ones, information, rudder trims, the elevations over here, and the flight control mode. The EFIS one and the maintenance one, as well as the CB one, don't contain any information yet, right? But that's, I would say, kind of between brackets expected. Then while we're here, they also made some changes to this one. So here they now made a nice menu option where you can switch on the different things, right? You can switch on the weather or the terrain. You can switch on the TFC, which, if I'm correct, stands for traffic. The airports, the waypoints, the STAs, the position, right? And the data. And the data one doesn't add much, to be honest. If you would switch on airport, you're right, you would see some more things. We can switch on TFC also to see if we see something, but I don't expect something. And the VSD one also can't be selected currently. Besides that, of course, you can switch between the different views here, right? Like the map and the plan. And the cool thing is that they made some changes here where you can easily navigate, say, to the map, right? You can say, hey, cursor, and then move around. You can see the destination if you, of course, programmed it, and you can focus on the airplane. Currently, CTR on. Not sure what it means, but it's, I would say, by default switched on. Then, if we would go to the other side, and would move a little bit up, we can see that we can change to the checklist. And this brings us to the, I would say, built-in checklist, right? That's what was announced, right? It was there. So based on that, right, we can simply check off these options. So you don't have to go to the top again, but you can simply use it from here and then say, okay, hey, we manage it. Then APU generator left, right, so that's all the things which you of course need to do on top, right, because that one also received a massive update. So what you will see is that a lot of changes are coming here, which are, let's say, in this case, added here. The lightning has also been enhanced in this piece, or in this part I should say, which looks, I would say, pretty cool, right? So they spent a lot of time on this to make the aircraft better, and you can see that it's, I would say, really serious, right? IRS, the inertial reference systems have been added. I don't think that they were added initially, but that's all kind of cool systems which they now have added as part of this first beta, right, which is there. Then if we move to this display, right, you can see some information here. Okay, hey, it says not in database, right? You can simply clear those messages and then the error is gone. And there is the MCDU, right, or the flight management system is this one. So here you can see some more information about the aircraft itself, right? You can do the initial positional init, right? And then you can go to the route. Also, this display looks a little bit different from what they had initially, which is cool. I like it. I think that they made some enhancements based on that. Echo Hotel Romeo Delta could be your destination, right? Let's try to see if it still works. Okay, challenge. That one doesn't work. But likely it's caused by the fact that there are a lot of incorrect characters over here, right? You can use the clear button over here. Echo Hotel Romeo Delta. Then we're gonna push it over here. That's done. And Echo Hotel Alpha Mike. Origin. Then you can specify the runway, right? And if you press the option and it's not correct, you will get a nice display, right? So after that you can press activate and execute. To me, I would say this still looks or feels a little bit, I would say, not natural, but hey, I don't know the cockpit of a 787, so maybe it's realistic, but from my perspective it looks a little bit weird, right? I would say it looks a little bit too much as a computer. Then we've got the VNAV part, right? The VNAV part also received a large update where you can set the other settings. I would say the climb or the cruise altitude, etc. that was already configurable. And now it says, okay, hey, I've modified something, which is good. I can go to the different sections, right? I can go to from climb, which is this section. I can go to the cruise, which also allows me to define certain things, right? The takeoff and top of descent. I can set the ETA view, if I, of course, set up everything correctly. And in addition to that, I can set the destination things, or destination configuration. So that's all cool. The same thing, of course, is available on the right side, right, for the co-pilot, which is, I'd say, more nice things, right? That also brings me to the actual lateral offset, right, where you can say start waypoint. You can define the gates. You can set the slop on or off. Not sure what slop stands for, but hey, maybe someone else knows. If you know it, then feel free to post it below this video to explain to the other viewers what this is. Progress, of course, the FMC COM, the climb forecast. And this is where you had that climb forecast, right, which was discussed in the previous video about the release notes. That's where they mentioned that they would have added something for the climb forecast, so you can, I would say, better forecast what your climb pattern should be to make sure that you're, I'd say, correctly reaching a certain altitude, a specific waypoint. So that's over there. What do we have else, right? FMC comms, position report. We can set the wind. We can set the wind, which is cool. Going back, and then of course we've got the normal performance related stuff, right? The center of gravity, the cost index, the reserves, the zero fuel weight, etc. So that's, I would say, looks a lot better, right? I'm pretty impressed already by the things which they have added. So looking forward, I would say, for the next update already, right? So This is really cool. The only downside might be that if you're unfamiliar with this aircraft, that you don't have the option to press where you can navigate or where it indicates, hey, this is where the specific, I would say, part is located. So that's something you need to figure out. The other things which you can do, of course, from the checklist point of view, you can simply reset it, go to the normal one. And then if you press normal, you will go to the, let's say, different sections, right? So this is how you can move from, I would say, start to end. And then eventually it will come here and you can go to the list again, right? So that's cool. What are other things they modified? I think they made some change in this part, which makes it cool. And they made some, no, they also made, no, they didn't make any changes there, right? So, yeah, so pretty cool. So in this video, we had a short look at how this nice aircraft looks like, right? You can already see some EFB ones. But the EFB was not integrated yet, so that will likely come here. Say hopefully it will come with a future update, but let's see. Here ends this video. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you got questions or comments, then feel free to post them in the comment box below. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos I'm posting, then make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.